What's up, future officers? So we've already done with our introduction video as to what this particular series will be there. Okay, this series is called as Add Value Ace Ethics, and I am sure that it will definitely ace this ethics in such a way getting this 130 plus 140 plus. In our introductory video, we've already discussed that the three most essential elements for this. One, you have to have awesome, super definitions. Second, you have to have a ton of examples. Third, you have to make your introductions, conclusions punchy. Okay. And fourth is you have to mention a lot of ethical theories by different philosophers, thinkers, leaders, administrators, etc. So if this is there is nothing which can stop you from scoring excellent marks in ethics. So right now our intention is this very similar thing in this first video, where we are going to quickly, very quickly, with no nonsense, okay, no unnecessary talks, stories, nothing. We are just going to see the examples. What are some keywords which we can write for these particular examples? In our first video, we are going to see some important personalities of Karnataka. Okay, so quickly, I want you to take a notebook, make a quick note of this, okay, so that you can replicate these same examples in your answers as well, right? So let's begin without much ado. So the first particular example is R.K. Laxman. Okay, so R.K. Laxman, I'm sure all of you have read about him, or when you're seeing the newspaper, you would have definitely seen his cartoons and everything. So the keywords which one thing you have to know is R.K. Laxman was a person from Karnataka, right? So he, through his cartoons, he was a cartoonist. Okay, we can call this as ethical journalism. Okay, that is one particular word you can use. Cartoonist, ethical journalism. And he was, through his cartoons, he would make even simple people understand the nuances and the integrity and the nitty-gritties of corruption which was happening in our society. He exposed the various social evils through his cartoons. Okay, so that is our first example. Okay, so which we can see how he's upholding truth, honesty, integrity, accountability. Okay, and okay, so the next one, we'll go to the second example, which is Kuvempu. Okay, so Kuvempu, again, his advocacy for universal values. Okay, Vishwamanava. So he was a poet. Okay, he's written a lot of poems. He was a Jnanapita awardee also, and he stressed on social harmony between different classes of people, between different castes of people, and he tried to promote equality through his literature. He tried to promote inclusiveness through his literature. Okay, so you have to remember Kuvempu while writing in your examples. Okay, next, third one, Shivakumara Swamiji. Okay, so Shivakumara Swamiji, you might be wondering whether can we really use these examples, why bring a religious angle to it and all. See, this example has nothing to do with religion. This you have to understand. It is purely a man trying to create a social revolution by the numerous amount of educational initiatives which he has bought. Okay, and by that way, he definitely gets a credit into being one of our examples in our answers. A very famous personality in Karnataka, and almost lakhs and lakhs of people have got education by Siddhaganga Mutt, okay, which is there. Almost, so what does this, try to encompass? It tries to show empathy for the students. It tries to show compassion. It tries to make a revolution out of social change. It tries to give the importance for education. Okay, it tries to lift people out of poverty. Okay, here education is used as a tool to bring about a change in people's life. It is used to empower people's life. So you can see that Shivakumara Swamiji through Siddhaganga Mutt is doing about all of this. Okay, next, U.R. Ananthamurthy. Okay, so U.R. Ananthamurthy, very famous. Okay, he's written so many plays. Okay, and he's written is there in a movie also. Okay, so in all of this, okay, so as a writer, he tried to expose the social critique, that is different elements of societal caste, racism, okay, poverty. he tries to beautifully expose all of this in the Indian landscape. See, as soon as one person is a social critique, you have to understand that if a person is truly concerned about bringing a revolution only, he can be a critic. Okay, so Ananthamurthy was one of the harshest critics, and he tried to present this critique very beautifully in the form of a story, in the form of movies, okay, which he's directed, and all of these things. And in all of this, you can see this person's intellectual honesty, his commitment towards his work, his selflessness, okay, and his social capital which is being there. Okay, so Ananthamurthy, which you have to see. Next one, Gangubai Hangal. Okay, so Gangubai Hangal, she's a very famous musician, okay, from the northern part of, she's from Hubli actually. So she's a singer, okay, veena player, singer. So all her life she has dedicated for cultural preservation of this particular music, okay, the musical tradition which she comes from. So you can remember this name, Gangubai Hangal. Okay. Next one, Dr. H. Sudarshan. So Dr. H. Sudarshan, very, very famous, okay, for his work with the Soliga tribe. Okay, so Soliga tribes are the people who are responsible for protection of the Bengal tiger in Karnataka. The very fact that after Madhya Pradesh, the second most populous area for tiger conservation is Karnataka. And the tribes who are work with the government, okay, who work with the government are the Soliga tribe. Now, Dr. H. Sudarshan, he's created a lot of ventures, okay, so that these Soliga tribes, they don't face backwardness, they don't face this poverty, they have some basic rudimentary facilities, okay, so all of such should be there. So that is why you have Dr. H. Sudarshan. Okay, so you can see that him building hospitals, okay, trying to give awareness programs for these tribes, okay, being one of them, okay, and exposing their rights. All of this is trying to promote one. If you don't feel very deeply, you will not get that. So one, empathy. Second, your action tendency towards it. So second one is compassion. Third one, for a social cause. So it is promoting social justice. Okay, so remember Dr. H. Sudarshan. Okay, and his work with the Soliga tribe. So if you remember this example. Next one, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. Okay, so cultural integrity. He is a singer from Gadag, and he has dedicated his whole life for Hindustani tradition, and he tries to showcase our heritage in the world arena. Okay, so this shows commitment to a cause, it shows integrity, okay, and it shows cultural preservation. And apart from this, it also shows his dedication towards his work. You can also bring in fundamental duties, Article 51A also over here, that is protection of our cultural heritage. Okay, okay, right from here. Next one, Akhilesh Yadav. Now you might be wondering, see, was Akhilesh Yadav is North Indian, okay, Mulayam Singh Yadav's son and everything. So how is this relevant to Karnataka? See, you might not know that Akhilesh Yadav, he's done a lot during Coorg floods, during the Kodagu floods. So that is why he worked as a volunteer. He studied in Bangalore itself, and during the Kodagu floods, he has done a lot to help those people. Okay, try to save those people, provide them rations, provide them medical aid, and all of these things. Okay. Next one, Girish Karnad. So Girish Karnad, his ethical storytelling and the playwright, which he's addressed the social issues like caste, gender, promoting inequality. Okay, so I mean, rubbing off inequality, promoting inclusivity. So all these things you can bring in Girish Karnad. Okay. Next one, Vijay Sankeshwar. Okay, so you might wonder who is Vijay Sankeshwar. You must have heard of this particular travels or logistics. Okay, it's called as VRL Logistics. Okay, so VRL Logistics. This particular person, Vijay Sankeshwar, he started with just one truck. Okay, today he's increased his business just during his lifetime, so that he's made almost 6,300 crores of property. But still, he's very friendly with his employees. He takes a lot of care for his employee welfare. Okay, he's he tries to ensure fairness in his company administration, in the code of conduct. So you can see a very ethical leadership through this VRL logistics. Okay, this person from Bangalore, this person who's called as Vijay Sankeshwar. Okay, his office also is here only in Navrang. But anyways, so this is something. He is also called as the trucking king of India. See, from one truck to go to that particular place where you are called as the trucking king of India, right? So it requires a lot of commitment and that particular dedication towards your cause. Okay. Next one, Ravindra Kalakshetra. Now this is not a person, but nevertheless, when we are in Karnataka, Ravindra Kalakshetra, we definitely have to mention in one or the other example. Whenever any topic or any chance we get about cultural preservation, because in the era of movies, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Ravindra Kalakshetra is one of those things which is trying to still promote Kannada, protect Kannada, preserve Kannada through its different playwrights, okay, different theaters, music, dance, and all of these different performances. Okay, so it tries to show cultural integrity. Okay, next one, Sadananda Maiya. So Sadananda Maiya, we can see that there is ethical business. Okay, so we see that he is the founder of MTR. Okay, so him being the founder of MTR, till now, okay, almost it's more than 100 years old. Almost till now, okay, till now the food quality standards is the same thing. So it tries to reflect protecting consumer interests. Okay, so remember this, Sadananda Maiya. If you get a chance, you have to try to mention him and his example as well. Okay, next, Vishal Rao. Okay, so Vishal Rao's low cost innovation. So Vishal Rao's low cost innovation. So see, Vishal Rao is a doctor, and his low cost innovation is that whenever anyone has a form of throat cancer or something, he has invented a voice box. And this voice box cost is just $1. What a beautiful innovation it is. You can just see it. This is the innovation. Small plastic device, but a person with throat cancer who cannot speak, this voice box, through the help of this voice box, that person finds his voice. Okay, so you have to remember this name, Vishal Rao's low cost innovation. So what does this show? This shows that his commitment towards his work, his compassion towards elevating people from poverty, right? And his drive to create a social change, transforming rural India, all of these things. Next one, BG Gujjarappa. So BG Gujjarappa, also like RK Laxman, is a cartoonist. So he also tries to cover a lot of social issues, okay, and bring about a lot of social changes, work on all of this. Okay. Last one, of course, Saalumarada Thimmakka. I'm sure all of you have heard of it. So in this 4-kilometer stretch, okay, she has planted more than 8,000 trees. 8,000 trees. And in that 8,000 trees, it also includes 384 banyan trees. So you have to remember this number. Usually when we read our ethics paper, usually everybody writes Saalumarada Thimmakka. But what they do a mistake in is remembering these numbers. Randomly, they just write 4,000, 5,000, 12,000. So remember, this is the actual data, 8,000 trees, 384 banyan trees, okay, and a 4-kilometer stretch. These three things you have to remember so that you maintain that factual accuracy when you start mentioning about her. Okay, I hope that this is clear. And with this, we have completed our first video of examples from Karnataka. I hope that this is helpful. We will cover more such videos and fill your paper this time with a lot of ethics examples, so you don't have to worry about this at all. Okay, I am there with you, and we will definitely add value and ace ethics to your paper. Until the next video, guys, see you. Thank you and have a nice day.